Today, we are going to start a garden. It is a chilly February morning. I'm gonna be honest, I actually started some seeds in January, but we had, I think, a pretty cold January, and none of my seeds sprouted. So we're starting over, and I'm really excited. I have a warm cup of coffee. I have on a little yellow gardening sweater. I figured this would be more of like a chatty vlog, which is not my usual, but sometimes I like putting on like a chatty vlog while I'm doing another little task. So maybe if you want to start some seeds with me, we can garden together. It's gonna be great. Let's go. Let's start this garden. Ooh, am I overexposed? Is that better? That's better. Okay. So we're gonna do this on my back porch. It's kind of my favorite place to garden. My hopes and dreams are to have like a garden bench. You know what I'm talking about? I have like an old desk that I use to plant plants on, or like repot plants. I'm a big house plant person, but a garden has never been my thing. I did my nails green, hang on. I did my nails green to hopefully give me a green thumb, you know what I mean? I have some herbs, can you see these? I have some herbs going right now. Whew. That I've been loving it, but I did not grow these from seeds. I bought them as little plants, and now they're bigger plants, and they smell, oh, amazing. Okay, I have my house slippers on, so ignore that. All right, I have my coffee. I'm gonna try not to get dirt in my coffee. I have 3 planter things left, because I used the other ones for the seeds that never made it. Oh, that one ripped. That's okay. It's cold. Why is it so cold? I have dirt. Yes, I have a variety of seed packets. I think these are the only ones that I like bought recently, and then these are all ones that I've had from previous years. So beans packed in 2003. These are definitely from my mom's house. I love you, Mom. Okay. I also have like, rude. It's me. I'm on my back porch. I also have like these from like a green pepper that I ate, which feels really resourceful. So we'll see if those grow. It is cold out. Maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe they're just gonna die again. That's not the spirit. Okay, let's figure out what we want to do in each one. I'm thinking, I like growing tomatoes. Like I like the concept of tomato, but I don't eat that many tomatoes. Let's do tomatoes in this like 6-pack. Tomato. I watched a total of like 1 gardening tutorial on YouTube, so I feel, you know, like I totally have all the knowledge I need to make a really successful garden. I like green bell peppers. They're fun to like chop up and put in things. So let's do green pepper. My boyfriend did want jalapenos, so maybe I'll put that in one of these, but I still need to buy jalapeno seeds, or maybe I'll just buy a jalapeno and take the seeds out. That feels like it makes more sense also. Let's do spinach. I want spinach. I don't want that much. I'll do spinach in a 4-pack. Spinach. I have cauliflower, which I'm pretty excited about. Cauliflower. Boom. Don't know what I want in the 6-pack yet. I have lettuce. I don't think I want 6 lettuces though, so I think I'm gonna rip this one too. Yeah. That's perfect. I've also used before like egg cartons, you know what I'm talking about, for these, but these were on sale at Home Depot and I was already there and it just made sense. So let's go ahead and fill these with some dirt. Make sure I got them all labeled. Let me grab the seeds I want. I have lettuce, tomato, or cauliflower. This is a tomato, green pepper, spinach. We'll save beans for another time. I have literally the cutest shovel ever. Hold up. Look how tiny. This shovel is perfect for this, obviously. The one tutorial I watched online, the guy like filled these up pretty much all the way and then made tiny little holes for them and then just covered the seeds back up. So that's what I'm gonna do also. Can you see this? This was a garlic that I had growing on my counter, and I just kind of plopped it in that full of dirt like a month ago, and it has been thriving. Also, the seeds I planted in January, I forgot to label, so I don't even know. I don't know what my thought process was. Like, as seedlings, they all look the same. But now they honestly, they all look like dirt because nothing grew. But okay, I have 2 different types of lettuce from 2 different seeds packets. So let's just try them both out and see what happens. I'm gonna use my marker as like a little hole maker. That was way too many. That was a lot. I'm adding like 2 or 3 little seeds per hole. I'm just gonna cover them up with a little bit of dirt. So yeah, the garden, my yard has been a mess for a while. It was overgrown when I bought the house, and I just did not have the willpower or manpower to do it myself to like fix up the yard. I have like 6 feet of like overgrowth that Eric and I have been trying to take down. And then we also want to add planter boxes and just like, we're gonna make this yard cute, let me tell you. Okay, we have our lettuce seeds in here. Also, the guy like in the one tutorial I watched had like a heating pad for all his seeds to like help warm them up. And so I might stick them on a little heating pad for a short amount of time just to help get things going, because like I said, it's cold today. I'm suffering to make these plants happen. So I'm really hoping that I'm not like jinxing these seeds from the start, but I think it's okay if I put them inside and put them in my little greenhouse room, that they'll be okay. Okay, next one, sorry, I'm not even talking, I'm just kind of doing. We have cauliflower. Let's put our dirt in here. I'm also gonna like buy from the store, like once I get the planter boxes in, kind of like marigolds and stuff. Like I think that would be like really cute. And also I heard marigolds like help keep pests away, like the ones that, especially like pests that like tomato plants. I feel like I remember that from like 6th grade gardening class, you know? Germination 10 to 21 days. February. Oh, look, it says to plant them in February. Maybe I do have a green thumb. All right, let's do like 2 seeds. Oh, I forgot to put holes in it. Let's do like 2 seeds per. You know when you're like so cold that your hands just like don't work properly? It's not even that cold out. I'm such a Florida girl that it's like, it's literally like 60 degrees out right now, and I'm being just a big baby about it. We started it actually at like the beginning of this year, doing like 7 days of prayer and fasting, and I fasted sugar, and I've kind of just kept up with it. Cauliflower, because I feel so much better. Like I do miss it, and like I'll have a sweet treat now every once in a while that the fasting time is done with my church, but it just feels so much better not having sugar. And I know it's so painful to start, but like I don't really know where I was going with that. I don't really know where I'm going with any of this actually. That's empty. I have dreams of doing like pretty cinematic footage of gardening, like a cinematic video of like a garden thing, and also just like talking about seasons. I feel like, do you guys know Benjamin Williams Hastings? He is my favorite Christian artist, and he has a song called Seasons, and it always just like inspires me. Just the lyrics in that song. Honestly, just Benjamin William Hastings' lyrics in general are just, he has a song called Seasons, and it talks about like the winter is long, but even greater is the harvest God brings. And I think that's just so beautiful. Like I think about that every time I'm like going through a season where I'm just like sad. Like sometimes the winter, but like that's when God's doing the work, you know? And where was I going? Oh, I was talking about how I wanted to make this like a cinematic garden video, and like that would kind of be the premise of it. But yeah. Like sometimes we go through seasons where we are cold or feel like nothing's going on or feel low or depressed, but sometimes that's where God's working the most, you know, like the winter is necessary in order to have a harvest in the spring, you know? So it's kind of like, and I feel like we forget that sometimes because we always want it to be spring or summer, but that's just not how it works, you know? But yeah, eventually I think I'll film like a cinematic, like one of my video journal series ones, but for now we're vlogging. We're vlogging. We are at the start. All right, tomato. Next we have green peppers, and then we have spinach, and then we are done. My hands are literally freezing. If you live in Florida, you understand like not turning heat on in your house like ever, and I live in an old house, so heat especially like scares me. I'm like, my house is gonna combust. But I have had to have heat on a lot of days this winter, and my house did not explode, which is great. But yeah, that was random. That was a really random thought, but being a new homeowner, everything scares you. I don't know. Everything scares you because you realize there's so much that could go wrong, but there's also so many things that can go right. So I'll try and focus on that. Change my focus. I feel like where your thoughts go, that's where your like life goes. I feel like that was a lot deeper in my head, but you can understand what I meant. Got a lot of house projects going on. If you didn't watch my like room redo vlog, you should go check that out because I'm just redoing a lot of things. You know, it's a season of change, or it's a season of like preparing for the next season, and I feel like that's the point of winters. Also, throwback to Benjamin's song over here. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a season of just preparing for what's next. And sometimes there's seasons in life where like not a lot's going on, but it's like God's preparing your heart or preparing you for something else. I don't know. I feel like we're not patient a lot of times when we want to rush to the next thing, but if we're just rushing all the time, we're not actually like enjoying life that's right in front of us right now. And life happens in the everyday moments, you know? Life's not the big moments. Life's the everyday things that feel mundane or feel, you know, I don't know where I'm going with that either. My points are just, my brain's all over the place. It's the morning. I'm not necessarily a morning person, so I have an actual pepper from when I made fajitas the other day. So we're gonna do half green peppers from the seed packets and half from the orange ones and see what ends up growing better. I don't want to say I'm not a good gardener because then I'm speaking negatively over myself, but the past has shown me that I'm not the greatest gardener of all times, but I think it just takes practice, and it's a slow practice because gardening, I feel like that happens once a year, right? Like springtime. And I'm sure there's plants that you can grow in the winter and summer and like other times, but sometimes things happen slowly. I'm getting good at gardening slowly. We are moving on to spinach. It's our last one that we have out here today. It's been fun just chit-chatting. I'll give you guys updates maybe on like shorts and things as they're growing, as this is going. Let's do 2 spinaches. Yeah, I'll try and keep you guys updated as how these plants are doing, and then how the garden is doing overall will obviously be like its own video. And I'm really excited for that. I'm just excited for also just like the season of life I'm stepping into, where it's like me and my boyfriend are fixing things up, just like the preparing for the next season. I'm trying to find enjoyment in that, and I'm also just trying to find enjoyment in like the starting stages of a YouTube channel, because it's a lot of just figuring stuff out right now. I'm in a season of figuring things out, but I'm really excited to see what the Lord has in store for me coming up. And yeah, so we have our little plants. I'm gonna put them inside of my like green room that I have inside my house because it is way too cold for these plants out here, and I'm not gonna make the same mistakes I made in January and have them not sprout. So we're expecting big things. I do have one tray that I think is starting to sprout from my January bunch, so that will be included if I update you on some things. That one was green onions, which I'm pretty excited for that too. So yeah, this was nice just hanging out, chatting with you guys, planting some seeds together. Hopefully you gardened with me, or at least just enjoyed watching me garden, and send your good vibes my way that these will grow into big and beautiful plants. If not, I'm gonna end up buying some at Home Depot. But I don't even wanna think about that. I'm gonna think about that these are gonna grow into the biggest, most beautiful plants themselves, and by the time we have the garden fixed up and the garden beds put down, these can be put in the garden and it's gonna be beautiful and amazing, and I'll make another video on it. And yeah, that was a lot of rambling, but I will see you next time. Let's make some plants.